Hello, welcome to Miniature Realms. My name's Stuart. With the launch of Warhammer the Old World, we were introduced to the Arcane Journal, a 48-page booklet-style supplement, and then Warhammer the Horus Heresy has now joined in with the Journal Tactica, and the War of the Rohirrim is the first of this kind of publication for Middle-earth strategy battle game. So, is it any good?
Miniature Realms is proudly sponsored by Counter-Attack Bases. They stock a wide range of counters, gaming aids and movement trays for multiple game systems, and offer custom items to suit your club, your event, or even your podcast or YouTube channel. Check out the link in the video description.
I thought it'd be fun to have a quick look through this book and give you a bit of an overview. We're not going to read it cover to cover for you, but I wanted to tackle this. This is a narrative-based book, which is right up my street. So it doesn't require any meta conversation around tournaments and things, which I'm quite a long time out of for Middle-earth strategy battle game. I don't play the game in that way, and this book isn't designed to do that at all. But I also wanted to explore how the first one in this format for this game has landed as well, and what I think of it, because I'm quite a fan of the format through Warhammer the Old World, and I'm very interested in how it's getting started for the Horus Heresy as well. I quite enjoy it, but I know not all Horus Heresy players do, so it'll be interesting to see what the Middle-earth community think of this as a new direction rather than the slightly larger supplement books. I can remember reviewing the Battle for Edoras starter set and looking at the scenarios that you found in this book, thinking they were great, there's a really nice start, but they didn't really tell the whole story of the film, and there was quite a lot missing. And I think that that's where this book is coming in now. The excitement for the film has long past, and I did enjoy it at the time, but it's definitely not going to become an all-time classic, I don't think. So it does seem strange that it's taking quite so long. I'm sure there's a good reason for it, and I don't know, but I am glad this is finally here. It feels like something that I would have expected at 6 months ago or more. But let's delve into this anyway, because we have a proper amount of scenarios rather than the 4 that we just had in this one. So what do we have? We have a full colour 48-page supplement in the same art styling as all of the other Middle-earth strategy battle game publications, but it feels very much like all of their other books, apart from it not being a hardback issue. And then on the inside we've got a very basic contents with a linked campaign, and this works the same as all the other linked campaigns we've seen from the previous edition. And then we have 11 scenarios as well, which will all be recognisable if you've seen the film. And then we have quite a chunky hobby section as well, which I'm quite a fan of. A good 16 pages or more of that, which is really, really nice to see. The way the link campaign works is extremely simple. There's no map plotting or anything detailed like that. It's literally a narrative arc that you play the first 10 scenarios in order, and depending on whether you're good or evil and whether you win that game, you get a bonus in the next game, and that's it really. It takes you through, and it's all laid out there nicely on 2 pages. The scenarios run throughout the book in a narrative order for the main scenes from the film if you have watched it, and To Claim a Throne is the first one, and it's essentially the big punch-up between Helm Hammerhand, King of Rohan, and Freka, Lord of the West March. And there's some special rules for your Quest of Honour: the First Punch, the Dunleaning Fury, and the Knockout Blow. But again, quite often if you've played these kind of scenarios before and you've played Middle-earth strategy battle game before, you know that some of these scenarios are quite short and they're designed to be fun little narrative experiments, and this is played on a 1 foot by 1 foot square board as well, so something you could play on your coffee table. The next scene or scenario brings us to the rabid Mummock and trying to escape it, and the new threat on Rohan's borders tells the story just of that. So the good participants are Hera, Daughter of Helm, with Asher Freylaf, First Marshal of the Riddermark with Horse, Olwyn, Shield Maiden of Rohan with Horse, Leaf, Page of Helm with Horse, and then the evil side is just the rabid Mummock. And the idea is they have to kill the rabid Mummock, or the rabid Mummock has to kill Hera. And it's pretty simple, lots of fun special rules, which I'm not going to go into detail in any of these little run-throughs. I'm not trying to spoil the whole book. This is very much a quick overview so you can enjoy it yourself when you pick up the book to play the games. In the next scenario, an enemy revealed takes us to the point in the film where Hera has been captured by General Targ, and essentially Hera has to escape with the help of her friends. So we got Freyleth, Marshal of the Riddermark, Olwyn, Shieldmaid of Rohan and Hera, and then the evil side is Wolf, High Lord of the Hill Tribes, and 24 Hill Tribesmen. They have to remove them from the table, kill them, capture them, and Hera has to escape. And again, there's a host of special rules to make it a little bit more fun and thematic. Next up, we have the Plains of Edoras, and more of a battle-style scenario where the Hill Tribesmen under command of Wolf move to attack Helm Hammerham's Rohan in the Plains of Edoras, funnily enough, as you can tell by the name of the scenario. And this is back to a 4x4 table, evil deployments in the centre and the goods up on one side. And the good side, you have Helm Hammerhand, and you have Haleth, and you have Hammer as well, so both princes are there. You've got a captain of Rohan, and then lots of Royal Guard and different Rohan warriors. Evil side, you have Wolf and his hill tribes, Targ, and then lots and lots of tribesmen, 72 of them. So you'll need quite a few to play this game. This is huge. There's also 3 war mamuks as well. This was a big scene in the film, and this is going to be a big game to repeat on the tabletops. There's going to be lots of fun. You're going to need lots of models and maybe a friend to lend their armies as well to play this one. With the battle raging outside the walls, we move inside of Edoras and focus on Lord Thorn's betrayal, and it is just that much more smaller base scenario, again 2x2 this time. On the good side we had Hera, and we have Leaf and 6 warriors of Rohan, and then on the evil side with Lord Thorn and then 6 Rohirrim traitors, and it's about Lord Thorn tricking and trying to capture Hera again or kill her. And then the objectives are pretty simple. The good side have to kill Lord Thorn, and the evil side has to kill Hera. Staying inside the walls, we have the streets of Edoras, and this is another decent sized game, and the scene where the Mummak is inside the walls causing lots of havoc. On the good side we have Haleth and Hammer, the princes, Hera as well, and 24 warriors of Rohan. On the evil side we have Wolf, again we have General Targ, 36 hill tribesmen with a huge mix of equipment, and also a war Mummak. So also a pretty large game, but maybe one that doesn't require quite as many, maybe more normal sized armies. So really good fun one to try. There's lots of nice terrain on the board as well. It'll be one that if I ever get all of my starter set painted, might be one I want to give a go. Looks pretty fun. We continue that narrative arc, and the next scene stroke scenario is Edoras Burns, and this is directly after the attack. The good side are losing. Edoras is on fire. We have Helm Hammerhand, we've got Hammer, Prince of Rohan, Hera, Daughter of the Helm, Captain of Rohan, and some Royal Guard and some warriors of Rohan. And then evil side has Wolf and Targ, and 2 hill tribes chieftains and 36 hill tribesmen, lots of different weapon types. And the idea is that the good side essentially have to escape the table. They're trying to get to the stables to get their horses and flee the city, and there are special rules that match that. So you've got flee the city, city overrun, death's door, and it's all very narrative and fun. And I can imagine playing, even if you're not playing the full 10 or 11 scenarios in one go, playing 2 or 3 of these together might work quite nicely as well. Now we move on to the Wrath of Hammerhand, and that's the scene when Hammerhand himself has come round after his injuries and gone outside to fight, basically. And we have a very simple scenario on a 2x2 board this time. On the good side is just Helm Hammerhand, the Wrath of the Hornburg, and the evil side is 1 Hill Tribes chieftain and 24 tribesmen. And he's got to take them all on, just the way he did in the film. He's fighting with his bare hands in a wrath of grief and anger, and lots of cool special rules again to make this fun. And I think these things aren't really designed to be sort of balanced always. They're just designed to be good fun and to recreate some of the favourite films scenes, and I think they're always fun. The Middle-earth team always do a really great job of making these work in a way that's enjoyable to play, even if the scenes are sometimes stacked one way or another. Moving swiftly on to the Beasts of the Long Winter, and it's another one of those smaller scenarios on a 2x2 board, again this time with a low model count, and we have Hera, daughter of Helm, and then Helm Hammerhand of Wrath of the Hornburg as well, so his fists out. And then evil, we have Shank, Rot, and the Snow Troll, and the idea is that Helm has to get to Hera to save her before the evil models or characters get to her to kill her. Very, very simple, but very, very fun as well. And continuing that little arc of smaller games focused around a few scenes and a few limited characters in the film, we have The Last Stand of Helm Hammerhand. And again, it's another 2x2 board. Participants are Helm Hammerhand, Wrath of the Hornburg, and Hera, daughter of Helm, again on the good side. And on the evil side, we have General Targ and 24 Hill tribesmen. And essentially, Helm Hammerhand has got to survive, and he's got to protect Hera again. She's got to try and escape. And then there's special rules for the fierce blizzard and the snowstorm that's happening at the time. For those of you who have seen the film will recognise that. And the final and 11th scenario is the fate of Rohan, and that brings us that final scene in the film while Wolf and Hera are fighting, and then everyone else is fighting in and around them as well. And the deployment map matches that, with Wolf and Hera deployed way off in the distance there, when the rest of the fighting is going on elsewhere on the board as well. Again, really, really interesting, some fun special rules and lots of different objectives for catching different scenario points as well. Quite large amount of participants. You've got Hera, and you've got Olwyn as well, and Freyalaf, and then Captain of Rohan and 24 Riders of Rohan. And then on the evil side, you've got Wolf and Targ and 2 Hill Tribes chieftains and 60 Hill tribesmen. So a lot of miniatures again needed for this scenario, but if you want to recreate the things from the film, sometimes that is needed. I'm sure you could trim that down if you wanted to, and play with less of those and still have a really good game. That's the campaign and all of the narrative scenarios out the way. In brief there, as I've mentioned already in the video, go and buy the book and enjoy them. If you're going to be collecting these miniatures or already been collecting the miniatures from the film and you enjoyed the film, you will enjoy those scenarios and enjoy running through them if you've got enough miniatures to do them. So I definitely recommend them. They look pretty well written to me, and I would be interested in trying some of them out, though I definitely don't have enough miniatures for all of them. Then as a hobbyist and a painter, I love to see the next section in the book. We don't get enough of these things, in my opinion, these days. Definitely now that White Dwarf is naturally focused on Age of Sigmar and 40k, there just isn't space for some of the SDS games to be covered in terms of hobby in that way. But it is nice to see some of those articles appear in books like this as well. So we start with the destruction of Edoras, and this is all hobby that supports the stuff that we can see in the book. It's full of beautiful colour artwork, be that pictures from the film or pictures of the studio work. And there's a nice breakdown here of how to create a damaged Rohan house, essentially using a plastic Rohan house kit and then using lots of balsa as well. So you're cutting away a lot of the roof so it looks like it's burnt away, and then rebuilding a frame on the inside. Very, very simple, but also very effective, and definitely makes me want to have a go at that one. And we move on to some more terrain. This is the Hill Tribes encampment as well, and again, you just don't see stuff like this very much anymore from Games Workshop, especially when it comes to using kit and tools that they don't sell, things that you might find around the house or other hobby tools. And we've got some lovely examples of here of how to make a camp, whether it's the small campfire or the cooking frame or the Hill Tribes tents. Loads of use of other things like plastic dowel and bits of cocktail sticks or skewers, PVA, and using fabrics and things there to create the actual tent covers themselves. Really, really cool stuff. Great modelling. Really takes me back to the battle games in Middle Earth magazines and things as well. I think many people will be fans of these. And then we have the Rabid Mummock as well. So it tells you how to take your normal Mummock and how to assemble it, cut it up and make it look like a Rabid Mummock. And it is very, very cool. I know when people saw the original pictures, they thought that might be a new miniature. Alas, no, that this is pretty cool as well. And hopefully a lot of people will have a go at doing this. It's definitely tempting to pick up. Lots of green stuff there, so it's probably more advanced than making those camps or something like that, which I think more and more people could have a go at. But also this isn't beyond people if you follow the instructions there. There's even a paint guide with a very, very basic rundown of how you may go about painting more a list of colours, if I'm honest. And then you get a little bit more of that here with the Warriors of Rohan. It gives you a very sort of old-fashioned White Dwarf-esque picture by picture way of doing things, shows you how to layer up, etc. Very cool, nice to look at. Some people will get an awful lot of it, or at least some ideas about how to start doing their painting work. There's a little bit about heraldry as well, and I think this is extra cool. We're getting very used to the Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson films and the iconography and things that we see in that. There's a little bit less of that from the newer animated film, so it's nice to have a bit of an idea around the different lords and their heraldry and the colours you might use if you want to paint your miniatures to represent each of those as well. And then you get something similar with the hill tribesmen. Of course, I'd recommend following my painting tutorial. No, joking aside, this is great for the same reasons the Rohan one is. And that takes us to the end of the book. A more lovely artwork, but I think a pretty good 48 pages. Now, it's really cool to see something pure narrative there. We've already had the profiles delivered in the earlier books, which is a good thing, seeing as it's taken quite a while, in my opinion, for this to come out. I think we were still missing a lot of profiles. I know there'll be comments below, this is still missing or that's still missing, but I think if we're missing some of the main film character profiles now that we needed for those scenarios, then people would be a little bit more upset. But it's nice to have a pure narrative and hobby-based book there. That won't be for everyone. If you're mainly a tournament player or something, you might not find so much in that book. With the older supplements, you get it sort of all in one because you get more there, but this is very much like one of the hardback supplements with all of the army pages and the profiles taken out of it in many ways. I don't think the actual narrative content or hobby content is light there at all. It's just broken down into a smaller supplement, and hopefully that means we'll start to see more of those. It's a little bit different for Warhammer the Old World and for Heresy. It feels like those systems are a little bit bigger, maybe better supported now, which is odd in some ways. And we're seeing books more often. The gaps with Middle-earth have always been longer between them, and that may well continue. But it's nice to see this book arrive, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that format now moving forward. So I think that's the most interesting, almost more interesting than how good that book is what this new chapter of Middle-earth strategy battle game is going to be like. We're going to see more campaign books like this. We can find ones that have a couple of profiles in as well, and maybe a few less scenarios. I imagine so. I imagine it's exactly what they'll do. And I personally think it works so well in Warhammer the Old World, and I think it works well in Heresy for the first two. There's only two of them been out so far. I know some people would disagree, but I'm a fan of them, probably because of Warhammer the Old World. I've just seen how it works there, and I think it's a really nice way of bringing something out that's affordable, that hopefully is easy enough for people to get hold of, and hopefully people will like, and we'll see them more often. A little bit less more often would be great, but hopefully we get them more often. And hopefully they come back in digital as well. I don't know what's going on at the moment. Digital books seem to have stopped on Warhammer Digital up to the cafe book or something like that, and that was it. It just stopped after that. So something's going on there. Don't know what it is, but hopefully they come back soon. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Give the video a like. It really, really helps. If you'd like to support me and the channel, please do check out all the links in the video description, including my Patreon. Really is the best way you can support me. Check out the channel sponsor as well, Counterattack Bases. They make gaming aids and counters and custom dice and things for all different game systems, so it's well worth checking them out. And I've got a lot of other links in there. Come and join the Discord. It's always a friendly pace to chat. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you soon.